Hmm. Okay, so a very, very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Welcome to the session, which is primarily on how to create your vision boards. Creating vision boards is something that you can also learn through a lot of resources. But what we are going to do today is to learn the neuroscience behind it, to learn how it works and how to make it work. Okay. So there's a lot of science, spirituality, a lot of psychology behind creating vision boards. So the objective of today's session is not only to, just pick up, gear up with your pens and papers and start building it. It is to understand that how can we make it more powerful? How can we ensure that we are achieving what is there on the board? And my name is Bindu Bhatia. I am the founder of this company called Newco Talent Academy. And I have been using vision boards from last 15 years. Along with that, when I did my neuro-linguistic programmings and I did masters in OD, I realized, oh my God, there is so much of power in these things. So I culminated, I joined the whole aspect of spirituality, neuro-linguistic programming, psychology, and I realized that if we combine all the logics together, this thing really works. So there is a science behind it. Now, in last 15 years, I have myself practiced it, learned it, and achieved many, many milestones in my life that I wanted to. Okay. And that is what I solely wish for others who wish to change their own destiny. It is a choice that we have. So gone are the days when the belief was that, you know what is written in your destiny, you can't change. You have written your own destiny before you were born. Yeah, that might be true. That is there in our scriptures. But what is also there in our scriptures, in our ancient wisdom, is that at any moment in your life, you your soul has the power to make a choice and change what's actually written in your destiny. So, with that note, remember, go with all that affirmation, go with a lot of power, give your 100% to this session, ask questions if you have, but let's discuss and see how we can make it work. And even if 5% of you watching this video or attending this program can achieve what you have done in your vision board by next year, I will be the most happiest person on the earth. So this is my way of giving back. And now let's get started. So all of you, how many of you have already created a vision board? They have, created, reaped the benefits. What do you actually know about vision boards? I want you to unmute for a while and talk to me and tell me, what do you know about vision boards?
Bindu, can I share a funny story?
Sure, Ritika.
Yes, okay. So I created a vision board for the first time in Jan 2020, and then the pandemic happened in March. And we all know what happened.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so I think work-wise, what I wanted, even though it was online, it happened, but the rest didn't happen because of the pandemic. So, post that, I somehow didn't do like a vision board on a chart or anything like that. It was just like a simple paper. But yeah, so that's the thing I wanted to tell you about. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ritika. And no, that is so beautiful that you shared that, you know, I created it and something untowards happened.
Yes, yes.
Now, while we are doing all of this, while I'm saying there is a choice, I think what is very important for us to know is whatever happens in our lives, happens for good. So if you are not able to achieve certain part of the vision board that you are looking forward to, that also means something. So, with that note, let us begin to first understand the theory and also do this step by step. Okay, and we will be fast paced since we just have like 1 hour and 15 minutes to do this. So all of you who are present in the session, who are working out, who are watching this video, have a pen and paper with you. And the first thing that you do is create this circle on your pen and papers. Okay. Now, this is called a wheel of life. Now, vision board, I understand, is something that you visualize, some things that make you happy, some goals, some dreams that you have, right? You put it on that. But if we don't think through, it can really create a big havoc in your life as well. And I'll tell you why. These are certain spokes, certain parts of our life which create the life holistic. You must have heard the word holistic, right? And even if one part of it is missing, our brain is designed in a way that it tends to see only the things that are missing. You have to pull your focus on things that you already have and pay gratitude to it. So, remember that this whole wheel of life really gives you that opportunity to look at every aspect of your life even before you are set out to create a vision board or goal for yourself. Okay. So, what you need to do is create this circle with all these spokes, and from 0 to 10, mark yourself on your satisfaction level. Okay. So, for example, my satisfaction level for family is 10 on 10. My satisfaction for finances is 9 on 10. However, I might not have the best of finances in my, so in your view it could be very less. So for example, I just have, say for example, 5 lakh in my account. Okay. For someone else to see my account and say, Bindu, this to kuch bhi nahi hai, this is nothing. But it is my satisfaction level with what I have today is what counts in the scoring. So don't worry about how it should be, how much people think it should be. Just think about how satisfied I am as of today with the amount of money I have, with the family relationships, personal growth that I have. So health and fitness, for example, uh, people have been uh, telling each other, you are fat, you are thin. I mean, people will give you a lot of advices, but how satisfied are you with your health at this point in time? So there are many, many factors involved, but please look at it from your satisfaction grade. I hope this clarifies. It is about your feeling. The whole vision board exercise is about how you feel about it. It is not benchmarking. It is not comparison. It is about your feeling. So tell me if you're done. 10 being the highest, 0 being the lowest. Where are you in these spokes of life? If you have any questions, you tell me. You can ask me. And you need to tell me definitely if you're done doing this. Okay, Ruchika says it's done.
Hi, Bindu, I'm done. Mangala,
Awesome.
I joined late, but I'm done.
Super. So now, when you look at these spokes, why am I showing this to you is that there is something called your ecology. When you're creating your goals, it is very important. Say, for example, by doing this exercise, out of all the things that you've realized, um, what you need to do is understand that if I choose money and finances as one part which I need to focus more on in my next 1 year, then my focus or whatever goals I create, what will be the goals impact on other aspects of my life? That, my friend, is called ecology check. Now, many people fail to do this. And when they don't do it and just create goals, what happens is they get what they want, but rest of the life gets imbalanced. And that is why a lot of times, even when you achieve your goal, you feel that, oh my God, I did achieve, but at the cost of what? At the cost of my health, or at the cost of my personal relationships, or my romantic life, or my family life. So remember, it is about balance. It is about when you are marking these and figuring out what is the focus area for for next year for you. Remember that focus area, we will do a good quick ecology check when we create our actual goals. Are you all with me so far? Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, I can see your responses on the chat. Okay, so now let's move to the next section. So now that you have your area of focus, I also see somebody has asked. So Pavan, Pradeep, you have asked, need to write for all the aspects rating. Yes. So rate your current satisfaction level, your satisfaction level with this. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part. When you are very clear on what you want to achieve, or you are still creating the list of what are the things that you want to achieve, Wheel of Life really gives you the focus areas. I hope you have your top two focus areas. Give me a thumbs up if you have. Awesome. Now, when you have your top two focus areas, you need to look at, let's do a quick check of these focus areas. The first check you make is list down 5 things under each of these focus areas that the actions or the goals that you have under these focus areas. So let's make it more sharper. Okay. So pick up one, for example, if it is finances, it's the easiest one. And I think most of the people choose that as definitely one. So I'm taking that example. So if you take finances as one of the focus areas, then what are your top 5 goals around it? Right? You can do a drill down. Say, for example, I want to save up 50 lakh rupees in my bank account, or I want to buy a home this year. Whatever your top 5 goals are under finances, just write those top 5 goals. While I'm saying in a year, you can have your horizons for long term as well. Remember, your vision board can have goals, and these are some questions that people asked me in the previous sessions, so I'm just answering them. um, your vision board can have goals that are short term and that are long term, but have a mix of it. So list down your top 5 goals related to your focus area, and nobody is looking at your sheets. So please ensure you're honest to yourself. You're not, and do not limit yourself from thinking. In Hindi, one of the famous phrases is पूछने में क्या जाता है? So you're asking the universe or you're telling the universe, I need it. कहने में क्या जाता है? You know, just do not have any inhibitions. Just write what you want and tell me once you are done. Okay, I can see Mangla doing it. Uh, Others, quickly tell me if you're done writing your goals and writing the sub goals around it. Put numbers, make it smart. Now, I know all of you would know what is smart goal. Make it very, very measurable. And I'll tell you the magic of making your goals measurable. Okay. So pick up one goal and I'll just quickly make you do one exercise. Giving you a minute to write down, to complete, write down the goals that you have. Yes, you can do it for one area right now. For the sake of this session, I'm going to speed up the process, but I'll share the video recording with you so that you can go over it again step by step. Even if you miss some step, it's absolutely okay. You can go back and do it. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you, or maybe make you experience a very interesting aspect. Okay, all of you who really want to learn this skill called visualize, uh, let us do that. Let us experience a visualization. You have this goal that you have written in your notebook around that particular focus area. Now, what you need to do is quickly and follow these instructions. Just relax your back on the chair or wherever you are sitting. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And as you are doing that, imagine a moment when you have already achieved this goal. Imagine as if you have achieved this goal that is there that you have written. See what you see, what you are doing. Who are the people around you? Hear what you hear. What are the sounds? What are people telling you? What are you telling yourself? You're feeling elated. This goal has come true. You've worked very hard for it. What does this day look like? What do you look like? Feel how you feel. That sense of pride, that sense of excitement, happiness, whatever you're feeling. Focus. Where are you feeling that in your body? Build more images that you've achieved this goal. How would you know you have achieved this? There's this, create these images. Imagine yourself in that, on that day when you've achieved it. Create a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. And now put all these images and videos in a one big collage. Feel the energy. See these images, make them brighter, bigger. You are brimming with confidence. You're brimming with a lot of energy, lot of happiness, joy. You've achieved. And as you're doing that, put this collage in your hand and place it somewhere in your body. Take a deep breath in. This is a breath of gratitude. And breathe out. And slowly open your eyes. And all of you who were able to do that, tell me what happened. Were you able to do it? Share your experience with me right away. Open your eyes and come on, everyone. Were you able to do it?
I was able to do with it. So I started with
Awesome.
a target scene and then started thinking of how do I achieve that. I was going around thoughts. There are a lot of things, as you were saying, the collage was large. It's huge.
Beautiful. The larger it is, the more powerful it is. Now you need to make it sharper. And by sharper, I mean just zoom in to each of the image, zoom in and feel it as much as you can. And I can see a lot of you writing messages. Thank you for that. The first rule about visualization is don't get into how. First thing you need to do, and this is neuroscientifically proven as well, this is a methodology that a lot of successful people, entrepreneurs, athletes, uh, champions of champions use this technique. But first of all, do not get into how, get into what I want to achieve. What's my end goal? Even Stephen Covey in his book has written, begin with the end in mind. And this is the end that you are visualizing. So now, as per neuroscience, remember, your brain needs an evidence to be able to work on something. And this kind of frame is called the evidence frame of reference. Now, this image is something that you need to capture. You have already captured, but my challenge to you is for next 10 days, 21 days, visualize this, make it sharper, make it bigger, and make it very, very, very strong. Okay? The more you do it, the more magic it has. But I also understand that a lot of people are quite busy, right? You don't have time, so much time. But, you're busy doing what? You're busy doing achieving the same goal. Come on. So if you start with even 1 minute of remembering this, it'll be great. But vision board actually helps you memorize it. Okay. So we have achieved step number one or two, whatever. Um, you have written your 5 goals. You have listed them down. Now, you have also visualized it. Now, second thing, ecology check. Remember, and this I'm sure you will do it. I'm again reiterating, I spoke about this. Do an ecology check by achieving this goal. What do you think are the other parts of your life that might get impacted positively as well as impacted negatively? Right? And therefore the half of your fears, if you know that sometimes the process is that you create a goal, subconsciously you know that it will negatively impact some other parts of your life. Subconsciously you know this, and your brain, what it does is it starts pulling you down and it will not let you do it. Right? Subconsciously you will yourself create lot of blockages, lot of reasons why I should not do it. But Therefore, it is very important to check out, to face that fear, to write down. And therefore, the next part is also about pain and pleasure. So this is an exercise that you do, so that e- by doing ecology check, for example, if you identify that if I focus too much on, I'm just giving you an example, if I focus too much on my family part, then my finances might get impacted. Or vice versa, if I get too much focused on creating a big bank account, my family might get impacted. Now is the time, my friend, to do this pain and pleasure exercise. Now, there is a huge science behind it as well. People say I'm procrastinating, people say I make goals but I'm not able to follow it second month and I'm done. Now this happens because of a math that our brain does. There is a logic when brain stops you from doing work. Okay, when you yourself feel powerless, energyless to go beyond a particular goal achievement. Now this happens because either the pain that the brain thinks will be too much. If it is too much pain and too less a pleasure of doing it, it might get you into a situation where you'll say, "Acha bas ye iska fayda nahi hai." So there is a lot of, when we go to a shopkeeper, we see a thing and we do this decision making basis. Is it value for money? Right? A lot of times when we have to buy certain thing, the decision is basis value for money. Now there is a similar concept called pain and pleasure. If you don't know about it and if you want to learn more about it, please search for Tony Robbins, pain and pleasure. There are two videos. One is around 28 minutes, one is 6 minutes. Watch any video, but you will understand the logic behind brain initiating or pushing you to achieve your goal and not pushing you. So when it pulls back and when it pushes you. So what you need to do is either increase the pain of not doing, not achieving your goal, or increase the pleasure of achieving your goal. One of them has to be very, very big, large. So I will also share with you this technique, some handouts that might help you. But unless you address that pain area, unless you address this ecology balance mechanism, do not go ahead with your vision board. Okay. Next one is visualization. We just did that, and visualization is one of the most powerful ways of achieving your goals. Because we want to do visualization, we also will create a vision board. Vision board is also part of visualization. Then there are some beliefs and some fears. Now, all of you remember that when you want to achieve something, there is this inner talk, right? Array, this might not be uh, worth it, or I'm not cut out for this, I'm just trying. I don't know what would your beliefs or fears will be, but I'm sure you know. So if you don't know, then think about your goal, whatever you have written, and then do this exercise where you are writing all that is coming in your mind. Now what you can do is do it part by part. Check, do a self check, and write down everything that can go wrong. Be the self critic, okay? Whatever your brain throws upon, write and make a list of all the fears you have, distant fears, close fears, right fears, wrong fears, doesn't matter. Fear means fear, and fear of any sort is only going to stop you from achieving your goal. So it is important to write it on a piece of paper. So once you have your goal, you have done your ecology check, you have done your pain and pleasure, please ensure that you are writing down all your fears on one piece of paper. And to counter those fears, you need to answer your brain. Okay, so there is this Manwali, the shopkeeper this time, by the way, my friend, or the buyer is your brain. You need to convince your own brain. You must have heard a lot of statements saying that you are your biggest roadblocker, you are the one stopping yourself from growing, but that is so true. That is so true, because unless your brain is convinced that this is the right thing to do and safe thing to do, you will not be able to put the energy into it. So remember, if you're feeling any fear, don't need to carpet it, don't need to put it down, don't need to, say all those false things to yourself, but just write them down. And the moment you write them down, your brain starts looking at those fears as a third party. Writing down has a lot of power. So your brain starts looking at those fears as a third party and start solving it, right? And it'll start solving those fears. So write down all the powerful, empowering beliefs that will help you counter those fears, right? So this is a good, great exercise you might want to do before you go on to your vision board. And next, of course, is alignment with your values. So if there is a little bit of inhibition ki yaar kar to main lungi, but this might not be the right thing for me to do, or I might have to go out of my comfort zone to do it, then absolutely please do a value check. Because if you're stretching your, people say stretch yourself, push your boundaries, do things that are, unspoken of, all of that is fine. I mean, you can do that. But if there is something that is not aligned, some action that, internally, subconsciously, unconsciously, your brain is absolutely in disagreement with, you will create roadblocks for your own self. So do not compromise on that. Have a conversation. And this is all about conversation with your brain. Okay. Nobody else. To have a conversation with your brain, it has to be in the paper. That is the power of writing. Some people will say, Bindu, मेरे को ना writing में बहुत आलस आता है. Can I use computer? I would say keep it as a second option. Writing with your hand brings more neurology into it. You will be more involved. So ensure that you're writing with your hand for more power. But if you feel कि नहीं हो पाएगा हमसे और बहुत ज़्यादा रोड ब्लॉक है, तो you can use your um, laptop or whatever you want. Some people asked me if I can use Canva or something. Yes, you can use Canva, but today let's make it on a piece of paper, even with pure just pen and paper. Once the first cut is yours, then you can make designs and make it more happening. But first cut has to be with pen and paper, right? Neuroscientifically, that is what will help you. Okay. Now, the last one is the intention of your goal. And I've said this a lot of times that this check really can completely change your motivation. Okay. Um, just do a quick check on the 5 goals you have written. What is my intention? And be honest to yourself. There's nobody else to be honest with but yourself. Okay. Uh, Long time ago, I created a goal, and this is even before I knew about vision boards. Okay. So I created a goal that I need to go to the US. Okay, I need to go to the US once. Now, in my growing up years, that was a big deal for a middle class family. And I took it as a challenge because everybody around was teasing me, and I wanted to show off to everyone that, see, I have done it. And I did it. But you know what? I didn't feel the fun that I should have felt. I did not feel the joy that I should have felt, because the intention of the goal was to show off to people, was to prove myself to others. And that is where I realized very later in life that your intention of the goal really plays a very big role. What do you want to do with it? The higher the intention, the higher the purpose, the better it is. Now, what do you mean by higher the purpose? So, even if, I have a dream to make new code big, the purpose is not to make new code big and become very rich and then show it off to people. The intention is that it will impact so many lives. I will be able to do so many things, and we will all grow together. We'll nurture an ecosystem where people are emotionally intelligent, happier, more resilient. Now that I realized was a higher purpose, and that was giving me more energy than showing off to people or telling them or showing them, see, I did it. That's a shallow intention. So please, I've given you my example, but please check what is your intention, the real intention. Okay. So once that is done, let's move on to the next one. But any questions? I'll just take a quick um, check from the group. I know this is more of me talking and you less of talking to me, but I also intend to put this video on YouTube so that people who have missed it can watch it later. So I'm talking more, but anything, just unmute yourself and ask me questions, or unmute yourself and tell me how you're feeling so far. Are you with me?
Bindu, this is Sushma. Can you talk a little about this ecology check one more time, please?
Yes, Sushma. So Sushma's question is, I want to know more about the ecology check. Now, we did something called Wheel of Life, which means that in our lives, there are 7, 8 things that need to be balanced when we are living a social life. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we did this Wheel of Life in the beginning of the session. Now, ecology check really means, and let me show this to you again, how each of my goal is going to impact each of these spoke. So my goal on personal growth, for example, how is it going to impact my career, my money, finances, family, romance life, friends, social life, recreation, and health and fitness? How each of my goal is going to impact. Now, a little focus on that can help you uncover a lot of subconscious fears that you might have. Because see, the distance between you and your goal is standard, but the time it takes for you to achieve your goal is directly proportional to the amount of fears, subconscious limiting beliefs that you have. The lesser your fears are, the faster your journey towards your goal is. And one of the ways to elicit and to know what's going on in my subconscious is also to check ecology. I hope that when I achieve this goal, rest of the things are not imbalanced. So that's called ecology check. And I'll give you one more example. Uh, Back in year 2015 is when I started with positive lights, right? And I realized the power of, whatever I'm saying, whatever I have learned, power of sharing that with people. And I started realizing how it is impacting them, their lives. And I realized that, hey, you know what? I need to do something full time in it. So I went to my husband after 6 months in 2015 and said, boss, I want to start on my own. It was a shock to everyone in the family. Start on your own. You're earning so well. Your job is so well. You're head of department. What are you saying? You're enjoying your job, such a good salary. Why do you want to ruffle the feather? On top of it, I had a daughter who was just 3 years old, no, 1 year old at that point in time. So, what is important was for me to check, because if I would have fought with an entire family, you know, ignored the whole daughter part and still went ahead with my dreams at that point in time and quit my job, it was not an ecology check. It would have been a disaster as per me. Yeah, it would have imbalanced a lot of things. So what I did at that point in time, and luckily NLP happened to me and I knew about this ecology check, I realized that boss, I will not take a rash decision. While this remains a dream, these are 3 things that I need to achieve first before I take that step. So I did that ecology check. If daughter grows up a little bit more, right? So that she's at least independent to do her things. I did an ecology check that my parents have to be around. The in-laws, parents, I need to have a support structure before I move into it. Then there was another part which is financial, right? So me and my husband identified that these are the things we need to pay off and have this kind of bank balance to ensure that we can take a risk of 6 months of you quitting job. Now, all of that happened because I did ecology check and did not take a step ahead. I hope this helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So without making too much of delay, let me now, and you can put your questions on the chat as well. I'll ensure that we answer each question, even if it goes beyond this class. We are all connected through Positive Lights. If you are not, then we will be putting a link and you can join Positive Lights group. That is my starting point of my journey, and I'm very, very close to it. So we keep doing these workshops for Positive Light, especially. Now, what do you think is the difference between vision board and a dream board?
May I?
Yeah.
So, vision is something you're very clear about. You want to achieve it. Dreams are dreams. They may happen, may not. Good to dream, enjoy the dream. But when you have a vision, it's a certainty.
Huh. So vision board are more very nice. Thank you so much. Vision board is much more tangible. Okay, something like tangible action steps, like I want to read one book a month, or I will do these kind of workshops every month. Now this is vision board or goal, right? So it's very tangible. When you achieve it, you know you have achieved it. But at the same time, dream board can be looked upon as something that is a result of it, which means what will I get when I do this, right? So if I am writing a book or reading a book or I'm doing these workshops every day, what will I achieve? It's the state of joyfulness, it's the state of gratitude, it's the empowered mindset, or spiritual growth that I achieve. Now that's your dream board. So you can merge both, but you must know the difference between tangible and intangible. So, some people say, I want to lead a happy life. Now, that's your dream. That is something which you want to achieve. At the same time, what is very important is that you understand that in order to achieve that dream, you need to have tangible actions, right? And therefore, only a dream board might not help. A vision board with tangible steps might help. So, one of the years when I started my own company, I had a vision board of the names of the companies that I want to be empaneled or with, I want to work with. Now, that's tangible. But what will it get me is intangible. So both are important. Both are very, very important to think about. Okay. Now, few more things while you're creating your vision board. Do not only keep it as tangible. Do not only keep it as dream board. Merge both so you know what is it going to get you. Okay, the long term picture. Now understand that your vision board needs to have visuals. You need to in your mind have audios when you achieve your goal. So you have already visualized your outcome, right? And kinesthetic means the feelings. Now, all of that, the way your vision board will look, all of that needs to be poured into that chart paper. Okay. So the moment you look at that final vision board of yours, you should feel the feelings. You should be able to hear the sounds that you heard, and the vision obviously is in front of you. So this is how you just get into your visualizations. Understand that when you are visualizing your dream, you hear the volume, the direction, from which direction the sound is coming from, and continue to play it in your mind as well as on that paper. Four quick facts you need to understand is that brain doesn't understand the difference between reality and imagination, and vision board is a great way to make it believe that you can achieve it. Okay, so you need to give an evidence frame to your brain that, you know what, this is what I'm going to achieve. So once it knows the end, it'll take you there. It doesn't understand the words no or don't. So if you want, say, for example, to quit smoking as part of your vision of being leading a healthier life, don't say no cigarettes because that's only going to remind you of cigarettes. Okay. So what you need to do is more of healthier food and write down what you want to do. So no negative words on your vision board. Um, because brain, and keep repeating that brain is very buddhu that ways, and the words that you use, actually it just keeps it, takes it like a word of sanctity, so you will it'll agree to whatever you say. So please use the words very carefully when you write on your vision board. I'll tell you a funny story. One person called me and he said, Bindu, I wrote the vision of 50 lakh in my bank account and I have 50 lakhs. I said, wow, congratulations. He said, no, it's all the loan that I took from the bank and have to transfer it to the other person. So please ensure that you have very crystallized, you've crystallized how, when, not how, but actually, what, in what form this is. So there is no gap to your vision and to your reality, right? So ensure that you have answered all those things. And um I remember we talking about the fears and limiting beliefs. So ensure that you're writing down all the fears that you're feeling and put together, for each of that fear, you have to put together an argument for your own brain. Yes, it sounds very silly. Why should I argue? Why should I put a business case only for my own brain? I'll manage it. But no, you know what? That's the biggest battle you need to fight. One time, if you don't influence your boss or your board member, that's fine. But if you're not able to influence your own brain, you will not be able to achieve anything. So remember that. That's your biggest battle. And there are a lot of NLP techniques. If you've not attended NLP, I would suggest, if you have time, we are doing one in the first week of January. Do attend one NLP course. But if you have not and you want to know quick ways to do it, then affirmations is one way to deal with your fears. I'll send you a video and you can read more about it. I'll send you a lot of videos around how to deal with your fears. Okay. But then remember, you don't need to know the how of your vision when you're putting it up. It comes later. Your brain will itself start finding the answers. You're giving a problem to solve or a challenge to your brain, which is great. And it'll attract a lot of stuff that you might not have noticed earlier. So do not wreck your brains right now thinking about how. Okay. Whenever you come up with the ideas, make sure that you have pen and paper always to write it down the moment it comes. So you need to capture anything after you create your vision board, capture those ideas, do not judge them, right? And whatever ideas are executable, please remember there is no vision board in the world that you don't take a action and and it happens. So you need to take action. That is 100% there. But what I have seen, and the magic that I have seen is that when you create your vision board, the drive is so high. You are so motivated that action is not painful. For example, this what we are doing right now is part of my vision board. I took the action to make it happen, but it's not painful. I'm elated to be able to do it. Yeah. So when you are taking actions towards your dream and vision board, it should not make you tired. It should give you more energy. And if it is not giving you energy, it means that your vision board is not strong enough. So that's a good check that you can make with your vision board. I hope this is all making sense, guys and girls, all of you. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, I can see a thumbs up from Pawan. Okay. So now let's move to step by step process. I've also created a detailed guidebook on creating your vision board. All that we have talked and more neuroscience based techniques is there in that guidebook. I'll give it to you after the session is done. How can you speed up the process? Create images, create statements that are powerful. Please ensure that your vision board is not too cluttered. Okay, make it very simple. Make, even if you want to make buckets, divide your chart into four, make it as structured as possible. People say put collages, put this and that. It should not to your brain look cluttered. If it is cluttered, then it will not work as much, right? Have it right next to you always. So nowadays you have phones, yeah, put it on your you know the wallpaper, the screensaver, put it on your desktops, but it needs to be all around you. Then it'll make it faster, right? And it is important that you read it from the eye level height. Now, this is again a neuroscience fact. सामने रहेगा, नीचे देख के नहीं, ऊपर देख के नहीं, सामने. It will be more helpful. And you can put both types of goals. I've already talked about it. Put short term and long term. And there is a end outcome that you visualized in the beginning of this program. Remember, create a different sheet narrating that end outcome. You will be very surprised, and this surprise happened to me a lot of times, but first time when it happened, I can't forget that. I created my first vision board, and I had this door out, and uh, inside the door I am presenting, and that stage was very much set. I mean, the way I made the stage, all of that I drew it on a sheet of paper, and I showed the outside of the door that people are still waiting and fighting to get into that session of mine. Okay, and trust me, I was given a chance out of nowhere. There were almost 1,000 to 1,500 people in that auditorium. And when the event pictures came, I was surprised to see the same pictures that I created on my vision board. Similar things that people are on the door wanting to get in. Now, that's the magic. And my obviously, once your brain looks at the evidence that yeah, this comes true, it actually the process becomes faster. So start with small little images. When that comes true, your brain becomes sharper in visualizing. So that's just an example I wanted to give you. These are examples about limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. So if you feel that I live in scarcity, there's never enough, how am I going to achieve it? Then the empowering belief, you need to have a counter empowering beliefs. What will it take for me to be in abundance? I live in abundance. There's always enough for everyone in the world. So changing that really helps. So now my question to all of you is, how are you feeling? And these are some starting points to remember when it comes to creating your own vision board. Open to questions or any comments before I move ahead. Any questions that you have? How are you feeling right now? What's happening?
Hi, Bindu ma'am, Nidhi here.
Yes, Nidhi. Hi.
Hi. After a long session, after a long time, I'm attending your sessions, and thought that creating a vision board for 2025 will be so much fun and easy, but doesn't seem so. I'm kind of. I now realize that I've been stuck in so much of the day-to-day things that I actually. I mean, and with I mean, actually, don't. I'm not able to visualize anything, as in. everything boils down to either obstacles that, okay, if I do this, if I achieve this, then there are a thousand things happening around, and how will I manage that? Or I'm like, then I end up giving up that goal. Okay, this is not my goal. This, or the intention itself, I'm not able to find an intention behind that goal. So
Correct.
finally, I'm not able to make out a goal for 2025, honestly speaking. I'm saying, what do I want out of the year? It's just that being what I am and happy being in the murk I am in, probably. So, yeah, I have to rethink from the beginning. Where is
Yes.
life heading to?
Yes, Nidhi. So identify the goals and the exercises that we did, just the quick questions that we had. If you answer those questions and then move towards creating a vision board, it'll be the chances of its success is more than 90%. So thank you for sharing that. That is one of the reasons we don't end up achieving on what's there on our vision board, because we've not thought through. And fears and limiting beliefs, engulf us a lot, and it might stop us from doing what we have. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
Sharing.
you. Thank
All
you.
the best. So
Hi,
now,
hi.
Bindu?
One question, small question, Bindu. Good morning, first of all.
good
Uh,
morning.
Bindu, I just want to, you said a wheel of life. You choose the two main focus ones you want. Can we have, as a 4 or 5, this thing focus points?
See, you can have 7 also, that doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay,
But
okay.
what happens is that when we are on set to achieve something,
Mhm.
um, you have that limited focus and limited energy
Correct.
or time, 24 hours.
Uh-huh.
So if you pick up top 2 and you know that these are my focus areas,
Mhm.
and then
Okay.
have 3, 4, 5, 7 अलग से you have it, build resources to do it. But अगर आप focus करोगे 1 या 2 पे, तो then the chances of you attaining all those is more. The more goals you have, it it might lead into the feeling of overwhelm.
Yeah, could be, yes. But then there is, along with your, like if you're looking at a good health and you're looking at, your business, then you're looking at your finances, they all synergize somewhere or the other, like with each other.
Correct. So that is why for every goal that you put, have write down, this is an exercise, write down how it impacts. So if you're taking health as a goal, how it impacts my finances, how will it impact this?
Okay.
And therefore, that interrelation,
Uh-huh.
that, and it won't take too much time. We
Correct.
feel that it's too much of a task, but agar aap बैठोगे तो it won't take even 15-20 minutes more than that,
Understood.
but
Got
that
it.
will be for life.
I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Great.
I have
Bindu,
one
Others?
can I,
question.
Yes.
can I speak? Mangala.
Yes, Mangla.
So, Bindu, you've always inspired me. I have earlier also followed the vision board exercise. It has worked out for me. Of course, I want some more in life. So that's why now I joined this session again. Um, just a couple of questions, maybe silly, but so this vision board that we make, is everyone allowed to see it? No, right? It's for you.
It's your personal choice.
Correct. So when you paste it in front of you in the house or in your cupboard, uh, is that, I mean, it's for me to see. That's the way I see it. I mean, so can I have it on my
See
laptop?
it. Yeah, you need to see it and feel inspired. Now,
Correct.
there are many people who feel अगर दूसरों को पता चल गया तो वो मेरा मजाक उड़ाएंगे and I'll feel negative about it. Then you are self-aware and don't show it to others if you don't want to. For me, and for some people I have seen, they want to show it to other people so that they feel inspired to achieve it.
Okay.
So you need to do a check with yourself. How comfortable are you? Because end of the day, what we want is our brain to not feel fear in any way.
Correct. Also, should all your visions be on one slide kinds? Can I make a multiple slide or I then have to make a big board, right? So वो मैं,
Yeah. So here's something, that might happen. And let me show you one more slide.
hmm.
Um,
So this vision that you showed always has everything on one picture, no? Like one one slide or one.
You can have multiple, but be aware of these things.
Okay.
Okay, how do you troubleshoot? Sometimes vision boards lack inspiration. Okay, it means that you need to add more images, more update your goals,
Correct.
and do something to create more inspiration.
Hmm.
Sometimes you might feel overwhelmed.
Hmm.
So this might happen, Mangla, if you are using multiple vision boards. Then there is this feeling of overwhelm, and any negative feeling
Hmm.
will stop you or slow your growth. Then neglect. If you're not engaging with it, then you need to move it to the prominent locations.
I think this is important. Yeah.
Yeah, and misalignment. So these are four things that can really go wrong. While I have touched upon these in many different ways, but remember, this is one of the things to take care of. Thank you for asking
Sure.
questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nothing is stupid. Nothing is a bad question. It's
I have achieved a lot from these vision board exercises that you have.
brilliant.
I've seen your videos, and it has helped me, and I have achieved. I just wanted to say that for the benefit of others also.
Thank you so much. And that really gives me a lot of energy to do it more and more. Excellent.
I have one question, Bindu.
Please.
I am more of a visualization person. I do visualize almost on a regular basis. I'm using all my senses, in terms of the outcome and what is it and the detail, everything. And a lot of them materialize as well. But I don't particularly do the vision board as such. Put it on paper or the board. So I want to understand a little more about, how the power of manifesting your goals would increase. I know you said this in neuroscience. If you can give me a little more insight into the psychology and the neuroscience of how the vision board would add a lot more manifestation power, whatever
Sure.
that you call it.
So, what's your name? Sorry.
I'm Sushma.
Sushma. Okay. So, Sushma, great question. Now, let me begin from the elementary stuff around brain. We have how many senses? We have five senses, right? Now, over a period of time, as we learn, right, one or two senses become stronger than others. Do you all agree?
Right.
Now, that's how we start tagging ourselves. कि मैं तो visual हूँ, या I am more of kinesthetic, I'm more of auditory. You start tagging yourself. But does that mean other senses are not working? They are also working. It's just that you have been focusing on that particular sense. So, even as a whole, as a personality, if you want to grow and enjoy more and be more mindful, one exercise you must do is evoke all your senses. We have the power neuroscientifically, brain obviously has all these five senses. The more you, unlike other machines, the more you use, it gets wear and tear. Brain में क्या होता है, the more you exercise those senses, they become stronger and stronger. Okay, so my suggestion is that you exercise that and create your senses, other senses also stronger. That will help you achieve mindfulness, be micro observant. You will be able to do much more. But at the same time, today, as we stand, of course, there is a personality that you come up with, not only as visual, audio, kinesthetic, but also some people are logical thinkers, some people are more amiable. So what happens is that you build what makes more sense to you and with what evokes more emotions in you. So I'm going to share with you, sorry, a slide. So if you are a visual learner, then have more detailed images, right? Use color codes. If you are auditory learner, then add more auditory senses. So have some songs, for example, uh, to to map my own motivation to lot of other senses. I not only created one visual board, but I associated some songs. The latest one being Porsche with no brakes, but then some songs that give you energy. So मेरा एक song था चक दे से बादल पे पाँव है. Now that song, if I'm very nervous, I'm getting into something, I just hear that song and that will create that state in me that I'm more powerful. I feel very, very confident. So you can utilize, if you're aware, different senses to evoke those states. Now, when you are creating vision board, this is how it can help you, right? I'll just show you this slide. So if you're a kinesthetic learner, like you said, then use textured materials. If you're a logical thinker, then use charts, graphs, milestones, timelines. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
more um, the more senses you apply, Sushma, to your vision board, the stronger it becomes. I'll give you a simple example. Ek memory is made up of what? It's not made up of 0 and 1 or bits and bytes. What it is made up of is these 5 senses. तो अगर आप एक छोला भटूरा सोचोगे या बहुत अपनी एक बहुत ही strong memory, if you bring that back on your mind, a good happy memory, if you bring that in your mind, you will realize that why it is a very strong memory, because more and more senses are attached to it. You will remember every detail of it. आपको visuals याद होंगे, आपको how you felt याद होगा, आपको you will be remembering the audios attached to that memory. So the stronger those connections are, those senses are for that memory, the long term it will get saved. So that is the same fundamental that's applied in vision board. The more you involve yourself in that whole process, and the more you feel when you look at it. So if feeling is your power, then put the visuals that make you feel that way. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the brain would start to believe more of it as you actually do something on the vision board as well.
Correct. It's an evidence frame to your brain as well. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other questions? So we have, I know, just 4 minutes left. But what I want you all to do is take a deep breath and with your pens and papers, make your first cut. You know, that draft of, just write down what is it that you are going to make. Just create a blueprint. Is that possible? Yes, no? You want to do it after the session?
Hi Bindu, Gaurav this side.
Hi,
Is
Gaurav.
it hi? Since I was a few minutes late, is it by any chance possible to just quickly summarize or recap the steps quickly?
Yes, absolutely. So we will also be sharing, Gaurav, the recording of this video. So you
Okay.
can always go back and do it. But it's a good idea always to recap. So just give me a second. Let me quickly show you what we have done so far. So here's how we started. Remember, having a goal is not enough, having a vision is not enough. What you need to do is first take a stock of your life today. This happens through Wheel of Life exercise. There are many, many spokes that balance our life. Because we lack a few, we might focus on those few, but remember to be grateful for others that are going right, that are going fine. So, this is an exercise you do to measure your satisfaction level for each spoke of the life and identify some focus areas. You also do an ecology check that if I'm choosing this as my focus area, how will that goal impact the other aspects of my life? And then these are some questions you ask yourself before you start with your vision boarding. Okay, so goal in what is the intention of your goal when you visualize the end goal? What are the pain and pleasures of doing that or not achieving that goal? Uh, what are the beliefs and fears that you feel will stop you from doing this? Alignment to your values. Then we talked about vision board and dream board. What's the difference? It shouldn't be up in the air saying, I want to lead a joyful life, but not giving any specifics to the brain what it means to you. So it's important that you have both the dreams, what how you want to feel in your life, and also the vision, which is how are you going to make yourself feel that way. So it should be a mix of everything. How do you sharpen your visualization skills? So we visualized our end goal and we know how to go about that. What we also talked about was it is absolutely 100% important to deal with the fears and limiting beliefs about your goals. Otherwise, it becomes the journey becomes longer. So pen it down, write down. Uh, there are certain do's and don'ts about vision board to speed up the process. Don't make it too cluttered, make it very simple, but at the same time it should make you feel the also learn about how to convert or how to utilize your affirmations. And with that, I want to ask anyone who has any more questions. How do you feel? Are you ready?
Hi,
What's
Bindu. Ritika here.
I
Bindu, my question is, if time permits, could you quickly talk a little bit about affirmations, the right way, the right time, anything in the time
absolutely
available?
that's
Yes,
my favorite topic.
yes,
At the same time, affirmations need a more detailed investigation. So if you're all okay, then we can actually do another session within December to learn more about affirmations.
absolutely.
Will
Yes,
that help?
yes, Bindu.
So what I'll do is
Yes,
before
Bindu.
that, I'll send you a link which will help you learn what are affirmations and how to make them work faster. But what I'm going to give you now is something that I've created a playlist. And this happened in COVID. I wanted to do something that will help everyone. So uh, there is a playlist that I'm going to share with you. Just give me a second. Here's the link. You can look at this and learn more about affirmations. I've also created affirmation audios. So if there is for some, very most common topics that people ask affirmations for. So I'll share that also. Are you all on Positive Lights group?
No, Bindu.
Okay, so let me share with you all the link to Positive Lights. It's a WhatsApp group. We have been running it from 2015. And in fact, that was the start of New Code. I should give all the credit to Positive Lights for this. And we don't do happy Diwalis and happy birthdays there. It's all about discussing this stuff. So here's the link on chat. If you have not joined Positive Lights, do that. I'll keep you posted on the next sessions. But before I sign off, I want to really say thank you to my team, Astha, and everyone else behind making this happen. Thank you so much. All of you, I am still here if you want any answers. I'm here for next few more minutes, and